Even though I'm human, I'm still fascinated by how I came to be the person I am today, and I'm pretty happy about it.
I'm glad you feel that way. What made you have that thought?
Well, remember how we went over meiosis and reproduction the last time we met? I decided to study a bit more and get a deeper understanding of each person involved in the reproduction process.
It's always good to keep up with your studies. I think everyone should study more, actually. Care to share what you found?
I thought you'd never ask. Recently, I've been looking into gametogenesis, which is the process of making gametes from germ cells. There's a couple of comparisons of this process between men and women.
Ah, yes. For men, the process is actually called spermatogenesis. For women, it's called oogenesis. What they have in common is that hormones play a huge role in regulating the reproductive cycles for both genders.
As we know, the reproduction of animals occurs when gametes, aka the sperm and egg, interact. When it comes to the gender of the embryo for humans, it always starts out as a female due to the sex chromosome that already exists, also known as XX, which indicates that the gender is indeed female.
So, if an embryo starts off as a girl, how do some of them become a boy?
Usually, in 2 months after the gametes have interacted, there is a chance that the Y chromosome may appear in the embryo. And when that happens, the embryo now has the XY sex chromosome, and its gender is identified as male.
That's pretty simple to remember. XX for girls and XY for guys. And once their bodies have reached maturity, they too are able to reproduce. Now that we're here, let's break down the reproductive systems for both men and women. We'll talk about the reproductive system in women for now, and discuss the reproductive system in men in the next video.
Sounds good to me!
Going back to the fact that hormones help regulate the reproductive system in humans, the female body does go through changes thanks to different types of hormones within that help prepare their gamete, or the egg, for reproduction. These hormones are produced by the interaction between the brain's hypothalamus, anterior pituitary gland, and ovaries. The hypothalamus produces a hormone known as gonadotropin-releasing hormone, or the GnRH, that would help the anterior pituitary gland release the luteinizing hormone, or LH, and follicle-stimulating hormone, or FSH. These two hormones are responsible for signaling the follicles in the female body to develop an oocyte, or a potential egg, that would lead to ovulation. They also release 2 additional hormones known as progesterone and an estrogen called estradiol.
It's so interesting to view the female reproduction system as a series of chain reactions. That sure is a lot of work.
You think that's a lot of work? This is only the beginning.
Really? What else is happening?
Throughout a woman's life, they go through a series of different cycles. In the ovarian cycle, the Graafian follicle works to mature the oocyte through a series of steps. There are actually 2 phases in this cycle.
Oh, I know. They're called the follicular phase and the luteal phase, right?
Correct. Glad to see your studying pay off. During the follicular phase, the follicle would first mature when there is a rise of FSH from the anterior pituitary gland. At the same time, when there is a rise in LH, ovulation occurs, and an oocyte is released with follicular tissues that act as a barrier between the sperm and egg. Then during the luteal phase, the corpus luteum is developed. The corpus luteum would release hormones like progesterone to help prepare the uterus for a potential embryo.
What would happen if the uterus does not have an embryo during the ovarian cycle?
The corpus luteum would then start to break down, and a woman's menstruation would take place. But if an embryo is implanted in the uterus, the hormone human chorionic gonadotropin, or the HCG, is released and would continuously produce estrogen and progesterone. These hormones play a role in building endometrium and placenta for the embryo.
Sounds like the female body works tirelessly and prepares for any situation.
There are some special cases that are found in non-human mammals where reproduction is more likely to happen during a specific time. Most female mammals go through a phase called an estrous cycle, where the endometrial lining is reabsorbed rather than shedded when the embryo is not implanted in the uterus. Usually, female mammals are more receptive to male mammals for reproduction around this time.
I never knew that cycle existed in other mammals.
As exciting as the reproductive system is in women, there comes a time where estrogen and progesterone can no longer be produced as the female body ages. This is called menopause, and it is defined by a 12-month period without bleeding.
Incredible! If all this is happening in the female body for reproduction, I don't know if I'm able to remember everything that goes on in the male body, even if I am a guy. So many hormones to remember.
No need to worry. If we study together, we can get through it. That's everything we have in this lesson. Here's a summary of what you learned in today's video. We'll give you a few seconds to screenshot these notes if needed. For a more in-depth review of what you learned, go to www.scienceaide.com and access our study guide, download the PDF, and learn science smarter.